Hey guys, it's Hamster Fanatic 26 and today's video is going to be hamster cages. There are tons of myths and misconceptions about hamster cages that no one understands, and they've been going around and asking like, oh, is this okay, is this okay, is this okay? So here are some of the cages that are not okay. I'm just going to list some of the cages that are not okay first, just because I want to make sure that everyone knows this first, and then I can tell you guys what you can do to upgrade. So some of the cages that are not okay and are not enough space for hamsters are going to be the iMac Fantasy, but they are only okay if you have 4 or more floors. Now, a iMac Fantasy is only sold in the UK, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. I'm in the USA, so of course they're not out here, but you can get them in the UK. I'm not exactly sure how many they are in pounds. We have US dollars. So anyway, they are only okay with 4 or more floors. 2 or 1 or 3 are not big enough. They are small, they're really tall once you stack them enough, and they can be a lot of fun for your hamster, especially if it's a smaller hamster. But other than 4 floors is not okay. The next cage that are not okay are critter trail. Any critter trail cages. I don't care what critter trail or how many you connect together. They're not okay. The only reason is because they have tiny floor space, not even enough usually to put a house and a few toys. They're really small. And yes, Rodeo was once in a critter trail, I'm not gonna lie. But once I got it together and I figured out, oh, okay, that's not big enough. And I even had an idea in my own head that wasn't big enough. Oh, I got it together and he got a bin, just like Snooky. Snooky had a bin first. She used to be actually in the 10-gallon aquarium where the sorority is now. But now fish are actually in there where they're supposed to be. And I will move on. So obviously the next thing I'm going to talk about that's not okay are fish tanks. So the only kind of fish tank that is okay, the only exception is a 20-gallon long or bigger. The 20-gallon tall is not okay. The 10-gallon is not okay. Anything smaller than the 10-gallon, you should already know on your own that that's not okay. Like Merp's tank is a 2.5. Like that's common sense that that's too small. The next thing that's not okay or cage for a hamster is a critter keeper. These are not even cages. You cannot fit a water bottle in there, let alone a house or some toys and a couple of hides. It's not good enough. They're basically for just traveling with the hamster for about 5 minutes to the vet or something like that. It's not a stable cage. I actually had to clarify one situation at PetSmart. A lady and her son and her husband, or yeah, whatever he was to her, they were going to get a hamster, and the husband or whoever he was, so it was like, oh, okay, we can get one of these, and he was holding up a critter keeper that was smaller than my 2.5 holder tanks for the minnows. It really shocked me to think that they could even do that, because the wife looked at him like, what is wrong with you? She actually knew in her head that that was not okay. But they said that they were going to upgrade as soon as they could, so they went ahead and bought a critter trail, and I still advised them not to. I said you can get a bin from Big Lots, Target, Walmart, wherever, and you can poke holes in the top as a temporary air system. And they said, oh no, we'll do that later, we're just going to get a critter trail and stuff, and I just didn't want to cause a big scene, so I left it alone. Although I did kind of try to explain to them. I explained them what my cages are, how much space they needed, and they were like, oh, okay, I'll get him to do that when they get him. And the little boy was just so confused. I think they ended up getting a robo, like 2 robos, but they ended up getting a critter trail cage, which I really recommended them not to do, but they did it anyway, and I'm hoping that they upgrade it like they said they would. The next hamster cage is not okay. It's any Habitrail Ovo cages, unless you have a loft. Now, a loft is basically half of what you need. So, it's not exactly right. You're going to need to connect 2 lofts together and have the water bottle outside the cage. And I'm not quite sure that you can have it inside. And yes, Rodeo was once in a loft. He was in actually a Habitrail, just like a Habitrail den, just by itself. And I knew that that was going to be too small. But it was only because his cage, he used to constantly bite on the critter trail bars, so it was getting so annoying that I tried to connect that and the Habitrail, and then that just didn't work, so I ended up getting him the bin for Christmas. That was his Christmas present and sort of his late birthday present. I never knew what Rodeo's birthday was, but yeah, so he kind of got as a birthday present too. And the last type of cage that's not okay are any kind of bin cages that are under the minimum of 110 quarts. So both of my bins, Rodeo and Snooki's, are 110 quart. I'm not exactly sure the dimensions of it. I just know that they're 110 quart, and I looked this up on Hamster Haddock Forum, so I know it's perfectly safe. These are 110 quart, and they are equivalent to 360 square inches, and that is the minimum every hamster cage needs. Although the bigger the better, but these are just the minimum. And yeah, so any bin that's under 110 quarts is too small. Yes, Snooki was once in a 60 quart bin, but she upgraded to 110. Okay, so now that I've gone through all of the cages that are too small and not good enough, now I'm going to talk about the good cages. So I'm just going to list them. So all of the good cages can be a 110 quart bin cage, a tank that is bigger than 20 gallons long, or you can get 2 lofts that are connected in Habitrail. And I even saw one with a, let me show you guys, turn around to the guinea pigs for a second. I even saw some person, I think it was, yes, it's Hopping Hammy. It's Hopping Hammy or Hannah. I don't think that's her real name, but that's what she goes by on YouTube. So Hopping Hammy has, I think it's Strudel. No, I'm not exactly sure. But it's either Strudel or Yodel. One of them are in a homemade cage. It's about a CNC cage, and it has a chloroplast floor. So it's basically a CNC cage but for hamsters. And when I saw that idea, oh, it made me regret that I got bins. That is a great idea. I love that idea. I would have never thought about that. It was actually a really good idea, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should have did that instead of got bins. But now I'm stuck with the bins, and as long as they're big enough, I guess it doesn't matter. But I was just really jealous when I saw it. It was so cool. So I really love that idea. So you can actually do that. Or you can get a DIY cage, you just build it yourself. I'm not exactly sure how to do that. I am not the craftsman person. Like, I can't build anything for my life, so I would not be the person that will build a cage for my hamsters. I just like having it built for me, and you know, I'm setting it up. So yeah, that's just basically me. So you can do that, or you can do the CNC cage for hamsters, bins, or the tanks that are more than 20-gallon long. You can do 2 lofts that are connected together. And I think that's about it. Or you can do an IKEA shelf, but those are expensive to make because you get all the pieces from IKEA. They're IKEA shelves. You just basically set it all together and put a glass top or a glass, front as a finishing, and then use I'm not exactly sure what that stuff is, but on the side of the tanks, you know, the stuff that holds the tanks together, right there, and then just do it like that. Silicone, I think that's what it's called. So those are basically hamster cages, guys. Sorry if this video progressed longer than it should have, but they're really important to a hamster's health because they really do need a lot of space, especially smaller hamsters like Robos, because they are very active. So actually, if you have Robos, you can go bigger and better. But if you do this, I think it's okay. But it's just that Robos are really active. So thanks for watching, guys. Sorry this video was kind of long. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.